Senior point guard Justin Coleman.
Justin, just for you, the last few games you've really been pressing the ball into the paint, looking for shooters to kick back out to. How do you think that's changed and affected the offense?
First, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior for giving me the opportunity to be here. To answer your question, I just been playing to the best of my ability. You know, my teammates trust me and I trust my teammates. So we just try to come out every game and just try to execute the offensive plan.
Was that an emphasis, though, to maybe try to create more for you by doing that?
I just want to create more opportunities for my teammates. That's all. I just try to get guys like Chase Jeter, Brandon Williams, Brandon Randolph, Dylan Smith more shots. So, I mean, that's just my job as a point guard as well. So,
I think you were credited with 5 steals in that last game, and there seemed like a concerted effort to really try to force the turnovers. Is that a change for you guys? I know that it's always been a push on the defensive side, but to try to create transition opportunities through the steals and live ball turnovers?
I was just in the right spots at the right time. And our best offense is playing in transition. So if we could rebound the ball and get turnovers and get stops, that'll also help our offensive game as well.
What do you think about USC from what you've seen of them so far?
I was literally just watching film on those guys. They're pretty good. They have 2 big guys on the inside that's averaging a double-double. They have a really good point guard that transferred from Duke that was top 25 in high school. So we have to be on our A game to be able to beat those guys. So we're going to prepare once again today and also tomorrow and shoot around to prepare for those guys.
Walk us through, like when you said you watch film, how does that work for you? What do you look for? How much time do you spend doing that? What are some of the tendencies you look at? And what do you want to kind of prepare yourself?
I spend about 6-7 hours a day just watching film. I might watch yesterday's practice. I might watch the last 2-3 games the team played, or I might watch our last 2-3 games just to try to put things together, watch their defense, how they play their zone, because a lot of teams in Pac-12 play zone. Watch a lot of their plays, because about Pac-12 is about being prepared for the next team. So if I can prepare mentally, that's 90% of the game. So I just try my best to prepare mentally the best way I can.
Are you doing a lot of that on your own? That's a lot of time.
I spend a lot of time with players on my team, watching film, coaches, and I also like to sit down by myself and figure things out as a point guard and watch film as well.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah, I always been like that.
Every day?
Yeah. I mean, I just read books, practice, and watch film. That's all I do. Nah, not right now.
Well, and you, as being a grad, that helps, right? Because you have a couple of coursework's not too overwhelming.
Yeah, I only have 2 classes on Mondays, so the rest of the week I'm just really free. So.
How do you translate that to the rest of your teammates? Do you tell them about things you're seeing, and does that come out like just in the locker room when you guys are sitting around? Is that something you'll try to talk about to them in practice, and when you kind of try to communicate that to them?
In practice, the coaches can't cover everything, and also I want to give credit to the assistant coaches because they do a really good job with scout, film. Our scout team prepares well in practice. So while I'm watching film, I might see a clip that might help us on ball screen defense, and I might send it to our lead and say, hey, if you do this thing right here, that'll help us as well. Or this guy might shoot 20% from the three-point line, so you can short close out instead of long close out. So just the small details helps a lot in games.
When you're watching film, is it on your phone, in the film room? What's kind of your preferred choice to watch film?
We have this app called Huddle. So I asked the GAs to send film to Huddle, so while I'm at home eating breakfast, after I read my Bible in the morning, I might sit there and just watch an hour and a half of film. Then I might rewatch it over again after practice. So it just kind of be either or. I might watch it here at the gym, or I might watch it on my phone.
I know the girls they said they got the iPads. Do you guys have something similar to that?
We normally use our phones. It's easier, yeah.
How much Bible do you read in the morning?
Right now I'm reading Psalms and Acts. So I read 2-3 chapters a day and just try to compare it to my life every day and just try to pass it on to people that may need what I read in the morning. So I might spend 45 minutes every morning just reading it.
You still sleep a lot, or?
I try to be in bed by 10, but it doesn't work, so.
That's a lot. So, and so, like, how much of that's in the film room? You mentioned an hour and a half for example, in the morning, and then you find sometimes after practice you'll just hang in the room and watch stuff, or usually do that on your own?
My normal schedule is I just get up around 8:30 in the morning, read my Bible, watch an hour, have film. I might come in 2 hours early and get shots up. Then between that time and before practice, I might watch 30, 45 minutes. Then after practice, at dinner, I might watch it before I go to bed, before I read my book. So I just try to find different ways and different times to watch film.
This book you're reading, this is different than the Bible, just a kind of a pleasure book?
Yeah, it's called The Daniel Dilemma. So Daniel in the Bible, it just talks about his trials and tribulations and just compare it to our everyday life. So it's pretty good so far.
What are your classes you're taking on Monday?
I'm taking school finance, and I'm taking 2 education leadership classes.
What's this week been like in practice with coaches sick, Chase is limited, etc.? Has it been a different feel out there at all, or just getting ready?
It's been pretty good. In the game when Chase got hurt, we had Jake, my guy Jake, step up and play big minutes. So he just stepped in Chase role in practice and everything the same. Our assistant coaches, they ran practice like Coach Miller was there. We held guys accountable of our practice of responsibility. So practice was really good the day he wasn't there.
Which coach has the loudest voice when he's not there?
I feel like all coaches have the same. All the coaches are really good at what they do, so everybody has an input while Coach Miller is there. So they still also had an input when he wasn't there. So I feel like everybody had the same amount.
How involved has Chase been in the last couple practices?
Chase is one of our leaders. I look up to Chase as well. And he's been very vocal in practice. He hasn't practiced the last couple of days, but he's been vocal. He's been in huddles. He's been in plays when we do different segments. He also helping out Jake as well in practice with a lot of different things. So Chase has been very vocal in practice.
Anything else for Justin?
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.